Beep.
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 道なき獣道行くならついてゆく地の果てまで 一つ持たず私生きてゆけますただ一つ揺るぎない想いがあるな熱き雲の彼方の浅黄色の希望へ向かう黒きホームだも白き刃もある決して殺められぬあなたの誠は命はたった一つ夢にこの世はあなただけに捧げるそれは言葉には出せない決めた私だけの決意心はたった一つ夢に心にあなただけを支える泥に汚れても汚れるあなた守り抜きたい
Okay, welcome back. It's about time.
Hello.
Hello.
I absolutely wasn't asleep.
Oh, are you sure?
I woke up at 7:59.
傘判定に身を隠している行動らに動きが
Odo has come out of hiding in the Tosa Domain's residence and is mobilizing.
He is?
Hmm.
向かう先は
They are heading for Ueno, I would assume.
Oh, I know. An area that houses the Tokugawa clan in Edo. The Kane Temple is located here, as its location is central to the rest of the city.
おそらくは今この江戸で多くの
Logic would dictate, yes. It is the only locale near Edo with a dense enough population to feed his massive army.
江戸を火の海にして多くの血を得るつもりだ
Their foolish plan to thrust Edo into chaos didn't pan out as expected. Kodo must be getting desperate.
Speaking of Ueno, the Shogi Company, which was a force comprised of former Bakushin, was supposedly holed up over there. What terminology is there?
Hold up over there.
What terminology is here that you didn't highlight, game?
Toshi Company or Shogi Company?
Bakushin.
Bakushin. Ah.
Eh.
Bales. Draw bales.
Oh god, not again.
Refers to a samurai directly employed by the shogun with the annual income of less than 10,000 koku, which is a unit of volume, typically used to measure rice. 184 liters is 1 koku, which was considered enough to feed one person for 1 whole year. A general term encompassing hatamoto and other types of vassals, also referred to as chiki-san.
Shogi Company, an elite force loyal to the Shogun. Yay.
Yay.
That's totally rice. Totally not anything else.
It's totally not anything else.
No, totally not straw bales.
Not straw bales.
I was sure their father and the Furies were after their blood.
我々と共に来るつもりはあるか？
Will you be accompanying us, scion of the Yukimura?
Kazuma's eyes flickered to me, almost as if he was testing me. I made up my mind long ago. I am going. Allow me to join you. Kazuma stared at me for a brief moment before relenting.
Very well.
Oh fuck.
What happened?
My water bottle totally didn't hit the filter.
Oh no!
Oh, he's happy. Why are you happy, Kazuma?
Because you are accompanying me, my petit chauffeur.
Shut your fucking mouth. You're not fucking French.
His curt response was all I needed.
Fucking French, you stupid bitch.
When Kazuma and I last spoke about matters concerning my father, he was dead set on prohibiting me from getting involved, but because the shogunate had surrendered their control of Edo Castle, there was no fear of all-out war breaking out. If Furies can no longer be used as leverage in shifting the tide of an approaching civil war, then perhaps my father would see the error of his ways. I wrestled with these thoughts as Kazuma continued.
羅刹のうち半数ほどはすでに上野へ向かっているはずだ。
I assume he is marching half of his furies to Ueno as we speak. Shiranui should already be in Ueno with a group of Choshu soldiers.
あの白縫いがまがいもの
I don't expect Shiranui to fall prey to a mere band of fakes.
行動たちを片付けたらすぐに奴のところへ向かうぞ。
We will reconvene with him as soon as our business with Kodo is concluded.
Understood. And so, in the dead of night, as the city peacefully slept, we arrived at the Tosa Domain's official residence. It was eerily silent around the building's perimeter. The building itself seemed to be covered by an ominous miasma.
人の姿が見当たらぬな。もしや、もう上野へ向かった後か。
I detect no one nearby. Have they already left for Ueno?
Kazuma, look! Over there! A shadow crawled on top of the building's outer wall. There was no way I could have mistaken it. He must have noticed our presence, and he leapt down from the building to greet us. It's a brat.
It is a brat.
It's a brat. It's been a while. I've been waiting for you, my dear little sister. Koda! I've already heard from the old man. He told me that he had generously offered you the chance to join us, but that guy got in the way of that. Don't you think it's rude of you to interrupt an emotional reunion between a father and his daughter? He ain't happy. Kazuma kept
Oh, look,
his...
it's the murder.
It's the murder face?
It's a murder face.
How many
Toshi's
murder
is
faces
better.
will we find? Kazuma kept his guard raised, glaring at Kaoru without humoring his sarcasm. So, why are all of you here? Since you brought these two as your bodyguards, it can't be for a casual get-together. I wasn't sure if either Kaoru or father were interested in hearing me out, but if I gave up on trying, Kazuma would murder them without question. Moreover, no matter what happened, I had a responsibility to talk some sense into them. Kazuma, please give me one more chance to convince them. Kazuma shifted his line of sight to me, begrudgingly taking his time to decide.
好きにしろ。
As you wish.
Thank you.
Drink.
Alrighty.
Chizuru, it's been like 4 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 minutes and we have a thank
Really have a problem, sis.
you. I felt a huge pang of relief, and after thanking Kazuma, I turned to face Kaoru. I want you and father to hear me out. Kaoru gazed at me coldly, pursing his lips. I see. I think I have an idea of what you're going to say. Why don't all of you come inside? Kodo's been expecting you.
Oh, look, it's me.
Yay!
Chizuru, at last you've come.
Father. I knew that he wasn't the father I once knew. But seeing his kind smile, just as it used to be, made my heart ache. Even if we weren't related by blood, he'd raised me as his own daughter. I cursed myself for being so weak. Stood tall and addressed the two of them. I remembered what happened when I was little. Not much, though. I remember how the humans burned our village, our peaceful home, to the ground. And how both of you were there to pull me away from the fire and help me run away.
I can only begin to imagine how painful it must have been, my child, to remember such atrocities.
I shook my head at him. It's not about me. I know the two of you have been bearing this pain all these years. After all that's happened, I can't blame either of you for holding on to your grudge against humanity. Then, Kaoru attempted to interject, and I could have sworn I watched his expression begin to soften. But knowing all of this, I still want you to stop using the Furies. As soon as I mentioned the last part, both Kaoru and father froze in shock. Oh boy. Luckily, we were able to avoid the terrors of war in Edo. Why do you seek further strife and bloodshed?
I think that's supposed to be strife, Miss Chizuru.
I'm sure neither of you want to recreate the same nightmare we've had to endure, do you?
Oh, sweetie. Chizuru.
A forlorn expression covered father's face. Kaoru, on the other hand, glared at me coldly. Don't break your foot getting off that high horse. Must be nice living a privileged life, isn't it? What? After our village burned down, do you know how hard I had to struggle living in Tosa with the Nagamo clan? Because I can't bear children. They treated me like I was less than dirt. I was lucky they kept me alive.
And yet somehow you are now the head of the Nagamo clan. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
About
You
how
played
that
yourself.
happened. They broke me.
What a savage. Sorry.
Eh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay, you can say it.
I was gonna say he's a savage little harpy.
Okay. They broke me again and again until I was nothing. At one point, I contemplated ending it all. Thanks to them, I realized humans and demons were no different. They're all rotten to the core. Listening to Kaoru made my heart sink. All that time I was living peacefully with father and Edo. Kaoru was forced to endure a miserable life without love or compassion. While I sympathized with his terrible circumstances. What do you want, brother? Do you want to use the Furies to rebuild the Ikamura clan? Is that what you really want? Isn't it obvious? It's my duty. Our parents' names have been dragged through the mud as the useless clan heads that let the demons of the East be annihilated. The Nagama clan abused me, and the demons in the West turned a blind eye to our suffering. How do you expect me to forgive them for spitting on us when we begged for their help? Each word Kaoru spoke broke off another piece of my heart as his festering resentment came to light. Maybe the only thing that could give him any kind of salvation would be if he exacted revenge on every person that he ever harmed or wronged him in the past. Well, he almost did that. Cosmo stepped in front of me all of a sudden. He didn't even look at me as he spoke.
Sagare.
Step back.
Kazuma. Just as I feared, the time had finally come.
Finally, I can actually say, as Cosma, the time has come, and so have I.
Excuse me?
The time has come, and so have I.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god, this video is so cute.
Cute?
I have a pet tree. It's a lot like having a pet dog, but the bark is much quieter.
God.
That's horrible, I love it.
Cosmo decided he'd had enough and was moving towards killing father and Kaoru. Kazuma,
下がれと言っているのだ。
I told you to step back.
He barked at me sternly, and I did as he commanded. He reached his hand towards the hilt of his sword. In one swift movement, he drew it. It glowed with a faint light, as if shining with Cosmo's fighting spirit. Yatsuna's Demon Slayer. Yatsuna's Demon Slayer. If it does indeed exist, it was a sword forged by the Master Swordsmith Yatsuna during the Heian period. Legend has it that it killed the demon Shuten Doji.
What do you mean if it doesn't even exist? The sword literally fucking exists. The only thing that's like up in the air is if it killed the demon Shuten Doji, which it probably didn't because Oni aren't real in real life.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Oh,
Anyway. But the sword exists. It has a name.
it does. I don't remember which clan had it though.
Breaking news. The Oddish is looking for a new photographer after our last one decided to record a random Hisuian Growlithe instead of the epic battle between a Galarian Moltres and a Heatran.
It's Dojigiri Yasusuna. It's a national treasure. It's one of the Shuten. Yeah, it's one of the Tenka Goken. Yeah.
Since that weapon was forged to kill demons, it must mean you're really going for us, aren't you? And this is why Haruko looks at his sword when they meet in Ikeda. Cause she's like, do you fucking have that sword on you, and how careful do I have to be around you?
Of course.
I still think it's funny that in Hichikata's route, he's like, "You're not a demon, you're a fake," but he still gets his fucking like ancestral sword to kill Hichikata.
I feel like at this point he'd just be carrying it.
Yeah, at this point he's just like, whatever.
I don't give a fuck. I'm carrying this shit with me. Oh. Nope, not that.
Of course.
Oh. Oh, sorry. My sister might not have power till Tuesday.
Oh no.
Oh god.
She doesn't have power?
I don't think she'll have it till Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah. Then it looks like I'll have to return the favor.
その礼をもって答えさせて
Kato slipped his hand into his pocket and took something out. Oh no, it was,
Ochimizu, probably.
Ochimizu.
It's probably just some Ochimizu.
Why do you need the
Chill.
Ochi? Here's what I don't understand. Why the fuck do you need the Ochimizu?
Yeah, I don't know. Why
You're
does
a
he specifically
pureblood.
need... I know, he's a pureblood. Like, why does he need the Ochimizu?
Kodo, I understand. You, on the other hand, no.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Kaoru and Chizuru, Kaoru should at least have had, like, some sense of what the fuck his powers are.
Unless they raised him as a woman, so they never taught him to transform.
Maybe?
I guess that's my assumption, because it's the only thing that kind of justifies him not knowing.
No, because I feel like what he did to his clan, he had to have, like, some access out of frustration.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know why he's drinking it. Maybe he just gets off on it. Like, we don't know. What's wrong with Kaoru?
I'm
Lots
gonna
of
fix
things.
it!
You should fix it. You should fix it. Hakuoki has many strengths, consistent characterization, and world building regarding the villains specifically is not
Nope.
one of them.
Gotta get the pieces and put it together or make some shit up. Was that the water of life? Yes.
No, it's Kool-Aid.
This is Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid has been invented.
Yeah.
Why would my brother be using that? No!
誇り高き鬼の棟梁まがいものに身を
The honorable head of his demon clan has chosen to sink to the level of a fake? Ridiculous.
Don't confuse your sense of
誇
honor
りの
with
形が
mine.
違うだけさ
No matter what happens, I can't let you kill me here.
ここでお前に殺されてや
Would you say
Nissan, no!
Yeah, remember it's like going. She says Nissan, doesn't she?
I'm pretty sure.
Nissan, no! I sprinted towards Kaoru to snatch the serum away from him, but don't touch me!
あれだ
My brother pushed me away harshly, sending me falling to the floor. I was too late. My brother gripped his chest as he moaned in anguish. The vial slipped from his hands and rolled across the floor. Just then, small horns.
Oh, look at the little baby.
Kaoru, how are you in your 20s?
Eh?
You look like a tiny little baby.
Why do you think I said, oh, look at the little baby?
She would be so annoyed if you were like, oh, Kaoru.
And then I point over at Cosmo, and now look at the big baby.
I saw something like a bright white flame. Kaoru's eyes suddenly turned gold and horns emerged from his forehead. My twin brother, Nagumo Kaoru, had drunk the water of life and became a fury. Nagumo Kaoru, having drunk the water of life, he became able to use his demon powers to their full potential. Bull fucking
Which he
shit.
should have already been able to do. Because he's a boy demon.
He's a boy demon and a pure-blooded one. So we've already seen this happen.
Plus, I thought earlier, fucking Todo had implied he already drank it, so why is he drinking it again? Literally, yesterday, Kodo's like, he's already tapped into his full potential, implying he's already drank
Oh
it.
yeah. What the fuck? What the?
I am only forced to conclude that Kazama's route is poorly written because nobody wanted to write it.
Hold up, but the reason we got Shinkai is because he wanted to redo Kazuma. That's why we have Shinkai.
I know, but I think nobody.
What the fuck?
That's why the Shinkai musicals.
My brain is. I forget what Koto said. Was it the anime or was it because of the musical Kazuma got that we got Shinkai? Or the movie?
The love triangle soon turned into a rectangle.
It was both. It was both. Seeing the movie, and then that's why we got the Shinkai musical.
Oh god.
Because yeah.
Okay. Continue on with the weird shit that we're going on. See, now it's a fair fight, isn't it, Kazuma Chikage?
What a fool.
Kazuma muttered coolly under his breath. All of a sudden, an aura emanated from Kazuma as his body shapeshifted, revealing his true demon self. You're both fucking pure-blooded!
He just immediately points at his horns. Kazuma does. He's like, mine are bigger.
It's kind of driving me nuts that Kazuma's sword isn't longer than it is, because it's a Tachi, so it should be longer.
Oh?
And so should Kaoru's sword. They should be longer than other swords. They should be closer to 90 inches.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, swords are longer in the Sengoku period and in the Heian period than they are in the Edo period. I could explain why that is, but I won't get into that little bit of fun knowledge.
But
Unless you really want that information, then I guess I can give it to you.
I like learning.
Okay. So, swords got short in the Edo period, both from Kodachi to Wakizashi and from Tachi to Uchikatana to Katana, because urban fighting, you have shorter distances, so long swords weren't as practical. So the swords got shorter, so it was easier to fight in tight urban spaces because most of the fighting was being done in urban spaces by the end of the Edo period.
Hmm.
So there you go. That's the reason. It's the same reason fencing foils in France, fencing rapiers in France developed the way that they did.
Huh.
So,
We have done to learn.
urban. Yep, you've done a learn. Now you know
Yay.
the truth.
Yay!
That's why their swords should be longer, because he has a Sengoku era sword and he has a Heian period sword. So they should both be longer. They should both be Tachi.
Tachi.
Mm-hmm.
They were like two white flames as they lunged at each other. The thunderous clang of their blades echoed in my ear. Their agility was impossible for the human eye to follow. I see you. You're not quick enough for me.
お前の動きが
At this rate, I will crush you in no time at all.
勝負がつきそうだな
Sparks flew as their sharp swords cracked into one another.
コードお前の相手は私がしよう
I shall be your opponent,
Yes.
Kodo. Let us
尋常
begin.
に
Amagiri called out to father, dropping into a low fighting stance.
Prepare yourself.
There is no need to rush things. In fact, since we're all together, perhaps you would be better off warming up with my beloved children. Don't call them that.
I hate that so much.
Don't call them that, Kodo. I actually feel bad for Kodo because his characterization is so fucking inconsistent across every single route. Him and Kazama both get that. Like, Kazama's like really evil in Saito's route,
Yeah,
and like
oh god.
slightly less evil in Hijikata's route. And then in Heisuke's route, he's basically just a tsundere.
Yes. Yes, oh god, yes. I think we need to put together a list of what the fuck Kodo is supposed to be.
We should. We need to do that for Kodo and Kazama specifically, I think.
Oh god. Anyway, father snapped his fingers. From behind us, I heard the ominous creak of doors all sliding open.
Shine! Shine! Where? Wah, wah, wah!
Eh?
What the fuck was that?
That was from one of the episodes of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, to where Ed ends up disgracing fucking Raw for throwing a sea cucumber.
Oh yes, that one.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, remind me?
Ambushes Johnny with a bunch of mirrors, trying to teach him karate.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Why doesn't my brain remember? Please jog my memory, Midget.
I already gave all the relevant information.
That doesn't help me
Okay.
Maybe I didn't see that. I don't fucking remember.
It's from an episode called Dueling Eds.
What the fuck doesn't it ring a bell? What the fuck? Within seconds, our worst fears were realized that we are surrounded by furies. See, I told you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at with that. Wait! What? Blood. Give me blood.
Jesus Christ, what was that one?
Trying to go for the Transylvania vampire with that one.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Want to suck your blood.
Oh. We suddenly found ourselves surrounded by a bevy of hungry red eyes. Amagiri was the first to react, throwing fast kicks and punches of the Furies funneling into the room, but...
Won't work on us. Doesn't hurt.
Amagiri, can you punch through their hearts? That's the only way you're gonna win, buddy.
He's going to perform the Kali Mal on them.
Jesus. They closed in on Amagiri as if they didn't feel any pain.
おのれ
You Bastards.
Almost comically tripped on a water bottle, like characters trip on a banana peel in cartoons.
Oh no!
Did you almost ragdoll like in a Gmod style?
Yes. I'm lucky I was able to catch myself.
Giddy had the advantage of battle experience and superior physical strength, but there was little he could do against their overwhelming numbers.
I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that Amagiri can't take them. It's fucking the Shinsengumi can.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
All he has to do is just like rip open their chest and yank out their heart.
Get.
Alima.
Oh.
What the fuck is power leveling in Hakuoki?
I don't know. Oh god.
Right.
Amagiri, Kazuma! Fearing for their safety, I've grabbed a hold of my Kodachi in order to join them in the fight. Kodachi, the protagonist's short sword passed down through the generations of the Yukimura clan. Its name is Shotsuren. Why didn't you just say Shotsuren? We already know the name.
We do.
At
The
this
name has
point,
been said multiple times.
we've learned the name of the sword already. I get
My
it at the
ducks-
beginning of the game, but like now, no.
My ducks are absolutely not in a row. At this point, I don't even know where my ducks are. Meanwhile, my ducks are in the back seat of a police car.
What?
What did they do?
What? Not the ducks. Leave the ducks alone. The ducks didn't do anything.
Evidently they did.
They ate bread. That's what happened. They ate bread.
They ate the Karen's organic non-gluten bread.
Ducks ain't supposed to eat bread, just so everybody knows. Do not feed ducks bread. Feed them peas.
Mm-hmm.
Feed peas.
Ducks fucking love peas.
Oh, they fucking do.
Good, they can have the peas I don't eat.
Suddenly, however, I was grabbed from behind.
今のうちにここを出よう。
Chizuru, let us leave while we can.
Father!
誰が何と言おうと、お前は雪村一族の鬼なのだ。
I'm sorry, Chizuru, I'm eating a roast beef sandwich on set.
Ooh.
On set.
And you gave me crap for eating peanut butter cups.
I didn't, Hijikata did. He's not even in this scene.
Why does everybody have food?
Everybody just looks up at Chizuru and everything, and then they point over to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., who for some reason is on the set of Hakuoki in spite of not having a role.
He's in charge of like set decoration or some shit. Like he could use Stark technology to create so realistic looking prop pieces and whatnot.
Oh, God.
It's fucking funny.
My
No
mood
matter-
ring, my mood ring is missing, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, Jesus. No. Why?
It's okay.
That's funny.
You missed my cops busting a nut post that I found earlier.
That was so fucking good. I turned hot dog water to ice cubes for vegan guests.
Oh, God.
Yes.
evil.
Ew. Ew.
No matter what anyone else claims, you are a descendant of the Yukimura.
そして
Your parents would have wanted you to join us more than any.
Don't presume what they would do.
No, let me go.
I bet you can't even grow your own hair.
I attempted to rest
Bald
my...
is,
Huh?
bald is beautiful.
I attempted to wrestle myself out of Father's grip, but he forcefully pinned both of my arms behind my back, making it impossible to break free. Oh, great! Nope.
It's you.
Yes, the yawn decided to happen twice.
Yeah.
Oh. 2 times yawn.
Yes.
Ooh, combo breaker.
Combo breaker!
Father, what do you plan on doing with me after you take me away? I don't like the next couple of lines.
Me either.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me you expect me to bear children with furies.
Demons of Japan and demons of the West. Two species that had never been acquainted will now come together as one, and from their union shall produce the strongest demons ever to exist. This, Chizuru, is your destiny.
No, it's not.
Don't presume you know what my destiny is, old man.
There, I finished my roast beef sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I believe this is what you were born to do.
At first, I couldn't believe these words were coming out of the mouth of the man who raised me as his daughter. If all went according to his plan, then the casualties wouldn't be limited to our country alone. This affliction could potentially spread around the world, devastating countless innocent lives. I couldn't bear to let my life amount to this. I must end this! My eyes flicked down to my waist, and I struggled in Father's arm to grab my kodachi, but with both my arms still pinned, I had no hope of drawing it.
何をしている危ないことはやめなさい
Wait, isn't it supposed to be? Give him a minute.
That's what it says.
Hmm?
What are you doing? Don't do anything reckless.
No, stop. What are you doing?
Father attempted to pry the kodachi away from me.
その手を離せコー
Hey,
Get
Reese's
your
Puffs.
hands off of her, Odo.
He Reese's Puffs out?
Yes.
Oh god!
Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs out.
Kazuha ordered in a voice as cold as ice.
The ice cold milk
なぜ
that
こん
you
なに早く
share with Reese's Puffs.
カオル君が敗れたとでも
What? How are you here so soon? Don't tell me Kaoru lost to the likes of you.
Of course he did.
聞こ
I
え
cut
ない
off his bloody head.
離せと言ったの
Are you deaf, old man? I said get your hands off her.
But Father seemed to have no intention of listening. Cosmo's gaze flickered to me, as if telling me what he was about to do. I
Nodded. Nod your
Nodded.
head.
Nodded.
Nod your head.
I had tried so many times to get through the Father, but there's another gun.
My cooking is so fabulous, even the smoke alarms cheer me on.
God. I poured my heart out, and still he refused to listen. At some point, I had to accept the truth. We were walking on paths that would never cross. Unfortunately, it left us with no other choice. I looked Cosmo in the eye and nodded firmly. Judging by his
God,
eyes.
I love feudal justice. If you have a problem with something someone does, you just kill them. He's so great.
Judging by his wry smile, it seemed Cosmo understood everything.
お前には酷な眺め
This will be a dreadful sight for you. Close your eyes.
I appreciated Cosmo's curt sentiment, but... No. I, too, am a demon of the Yukimura clan. Let me witness his final moments. Jesus.
見た目に似合わず気丈な女だ。
Your appearance does not do your bravery justice. Be sure not to regret it.
Cosmo said this for my benefit, but I would never regret this.
Cosmo, what does that mean?
If this was the fate of Kaoru, father, and myself, if this was the end of the Yukimura clan, then I, who share their blood, must accept the consequences and see it through to the end.
さてこうだ。覚悟はできた。
Oh no. Have you made peace with yourself?
せめて苦しませんよ。あの世よ。
I will send you to the next world without pain.
Cosmo
No,
raises-
please.
No,
I was gonna say no, please. He's saying super gross shit. Make him suffer.
Cosmo raises- Ah! Hi, Kenny. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Like your drinks. Is this the same mod as earlier or a different mod?
Huh.
Cosmo raised his sword arm high and lunged straight towards my father. My father seemed to realize that there was no escape. Different? Okay. His eyes glowed menacingly, and he focused his fury powers within himself.
Okay. Here's looking at you, kid. Look at the dickle.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a very phallic pickle.
It is a very phallic pickle.
Anyway, reach his cup.
Hmm? Nani?
Father broke away from me to charge towards Kazuma. But it was no use. Their difference in power was palpable. Kazuma swung his sword at the speed of light, effortlessly cutting a fatal wound onto Father's body. A second later, he's dead. Did that come through at all?
I don't know.
I don't think. I think.
Partly.
I mean, just like, there we go. I was just
That
gonna
did
do like the fucking Pixies and Fairly Odd Parents, just
Even that Discord's like, no.
oh, this, it's probably because I was a little far away.
Probably.
I have since moved it closer.
Father let one last desperate cry of agony and dropped lifelessly to the floor. Cosmo flicked the blood off his... I heard that. Cosmo flicked the sword off his sword, the blood off his sword, then sheathed it with a cold finality. Father! Just as I was about to reach for his dead body, all of the color left his skin. As I watched, his body crumpled into ash. It was blown away with the breeze, leaving nothing in its wake. Father! My father was dead. The man who raised me, whom I dearly loved, had gone somewhere I couldn't follow. I thought I'd been prepared for this, but it still felt hollow, like some important part of me had simply disappeared. It didn't feel real. Where had it all gone wrong? My knees buckled, and without saying a word, Cosmo drew me in close to his chest. There you go. Kazuma. I couldn't bear to look up at him. Whatever Kazuma had on his mind was an enigma to me, but for now I allowed myself to take a moment of solace from this one kindness he extended to me. I didn't feel ready to stand on my own 2 feet just yet. What happened to my brother? Did you? What did I want to say? Kill him? The words wouldn't form in my mouth.
深手は負わせたが取り逃がした。
I left a severe injury on him, but he escaped.
鬼殺しの刀でつけた傷だから。
However, since it was a wound inflicted by my demon slayer, it'll take some time to heal.
Cosmo spoke as if he was trying to put me at ease, but God, it would likely never heal.
Good.
That was the fact hidden within his words. Father was such a kind man. I barely noticed the tears sliding down my cheeks. He was a humble, generous man. He cared so much for his patients and always strived to better himself. I was proud to call him my father. For so many years we lived as just the 2 of us. It was peaceful, far from anything like this. Remembering the days when we were happy only brought a fresh wave of tears. Why did he change so much?
里を滅ぼされていな
If your village hadn't been burnt to the ground, then perhaps there would have been some hope of saving the men they used to be.
全ては
At the end of the day,
人間どもが
humans are
なした悪行が原因
lame.
だ。
No, they're to blame for their own actions, Chikage. I don't know what to tell you. Except stop being fucking racist.
Eh,
They were racist towards us first, so it's justified.
Uh-huh.
there's only so much justification that can go. There was a resentful undertone lurking underneath Kazuma's hushed voice. Kazuma was unashamedly proud to be a demon, and he had always considered humans to be inferior. For Kazuma, I could only imagine how difficult it must have been to murder one of his own kin.
It's fine. I understand.
Although humans were responsible for the death of my people, Father and Kaoru chose to let it consume them to the point of no return. They chose their own path. I knew that, but
I'm just so heartbroken.
I sobbed so hard that my eyes began to burn. Cosmo's arms tightened around me.
Some humans.
Eh.
Oh, I see it.
Some humans are evil. I know, but not all of them.
Tears dripped into my mouth as I spoke shakily.
There are so many of them who commit their lives to pursuits other than power and money.
The Shinsengumi, at least, weren't fighting for such selfish motives. I wanted to know where they were headed. I wanted to go after them. Now that I had lost Father, those feelings grew even stronger.
I believe the fighting will soon cease in Ueno. They may be fighting Furies, but I don't believe Shiranui will have much trouble. Still, shall we go aid him? We shall.
Cosmo nodded towards Omagiri before turning to face me once more.
As for you, return to the inn.
What? I can't just let you two handle this alone.
その死人のよう
What
な
do you
顔
expect
で
to
何ができるというの
accomplish?
だ。
You look dreadful.
さっさと宿に戻って
Hurry up
体を
and
休
return
め
to
て
the inn.
いいな。
Get some rest. Understood.
I was deeply concerned with the outcome of the battle in Ueno, but Kazuma was trying to make sure I was safe. I did as he told me and returned to the inn. After hours of waiting, Kazuma finally returned.
I thought there had been more exposition.
上野にいたまがい
Shiranui performed his duties and
Shiranui
destroyed
was
all of the
selected
fakes
to
in
the
Ueno.
新選組の連中を追うつもり
If you
なのか
if you wish to reunite with the Shinsengumi, then prepare for the journey.
He spoke curtly, leaving me with that as he exited my bedroom. The next day, I returned to my childhood home on the outskirts of Edo. I had snuck inside. My eyes were drawn to a chest full of father's belongings, including some of his old clothes and medical tools. I wanted to cry, but there was no time for tears. I grabbed an armful of my belongings and swiftly packed them into my satchel for safekeeping. I was startled by the creak of the front door. As I peeked my head out, I saw...
Are you ready?
I'm so glad he's not in just purple.
Purple is
Yeah.
not his color. The only person in this game who should be wearing purple as their primary color is Hichikata fucking Toshiro.
I don't even like the purple that Heisuke had originally. Like, for some reason, usually purple and yellow mix. But
Yeah, those are my high school's colors.
But for Heisuke originally, it just didn't feel right.
No, it didn't.
I don't know why it was off.
It just didn't fit him, I guess.
And then Nagakura is green and purple. I'm like, what? I nearly didn't recognize him. I was struck speechless by how different he looked.
He doesn't look different.
His new Western-style outfit was tight-fitting, expensive-looking, and very becoming. Form-fitting clothes refers to Western-style clothing with short, tight sleeves without inner pockets, or Japanese-style clothing that had them. Being tighter, they make it easier to fire guns, unlike traditional sleeves, which flutter and might prove a hindrance. I couldn't help but stare at him.
What does that look for? Do you want Western style clothes as well?
No. There would be no occasion for me to wear them. I don't need them. Besides, they look a little uncomfortable.
No, not at all. To tell you the truth, they are easier to maneuver in than a kimono. I shall have you a set made for you one day. Look forward to it.
Oh, great.
God, the more we go through his route, the more I just realize how much I dislike him as a...
Really?
Like on a fundamental level, like he annoys me as a person. Like I would not get along with him.
I don't think anything has changed for me with Kazuma in terms of a list of all 12. He's still at the bottom.
No, same. He's like absolutely at the bottom for me. I think my placing now, if I were to go through it, would be different than it was the first time I played in 2000 whatever. But he would still be at the bottom. I just think he's a better antagonist than he is a protagonist. I just find him really boring as a protagonist, and he's just so fucking unlikable.
Look forward to it.
Oh no, I couldn't.
俺がお前に送りた
I
いと思
want
って
to
い
give
る
it
か
to
ら
you,
送
so
る
I will.
つまらない
Your reserve is unneeded.
Oh.
人を待たせて
People are waiting for us. Let's go.
Oh, great. Huh? What people?
Our people.
I found Cosmo outside in the front yard, still overrun with weeds, and there stood. Oh,
Someone Kimiki. It's
Shiranui. So-
Hey there, little lady.
So I don't remember if this was the part where I cried or was it the one later, but they involved Shiranui, so I don't remember which one it was.
Tells her about Harada, doesn't he? Yeah. I figured that was it after we hung up last night. I'm like, oh, I bet it's him telling her about Harada dying.
You're the person waiting for us?
That's right.
He ain't happy.
Yeah.
Although I had clearly addressed him, Shiranui ignored me.
Hmm.
He merely stared at me sternly. Excuse me, did something happen?
You are a lot more likable in SSL.
Yet again, he didn't respond, choosing instead to chew on his lips as he chose his words carefully. No, he has his reasons.
I like Shiranui. I've always liked Shiranui. I think he's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Shinsengumi guy? His name is Hanada?
Of course. Harada-san looked after me when I lived with the Shinsengumi. I was confused as to
boy.
why Shiranui would mention him. As
was
I
really
considered the
hoping.
possibilities, it hit me.
I was really hoping that you wouldn't remember.
It felt as though I had been struck with an arrow to the chest. No. No, it couldn't be. Was Harada... I tried to cast these thoughts away, but Shiranui spoke up.
原田のやつは亡くなった。上野で
Your friend Hanada passed away, dying battling the Furies at Ueno.
What? Even though I had braced myself for the possibility, nothing could soften the blow of the truth. Why would Harada... Matsumoto-sensei had mentioned something about Harada leaving the Shinsengumi. I had no idea he was involved in the Battle of Ueno.
報道たちの動きを
We ran into each other while I was investigating the Furies.
こっちの事情は
After freeing him on our situation, he and I struck up something of an alliance.
急に俺と
All of a
一緒に
sudden, he started repeating how much he wanted to battle beside me.
俺が気に入ったやつ
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just bad luck since everyone I grow fond of ends up dead.
Oh, Shiranui.
Hug the Shiranui!
Oh.
God. Takasugi, then Sakamoto, and now Harada.
Ah. What?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, there we go. I thought something happened.
Nope. Even as Shiranui was telling me all this, I still couldn't believe that Harada-san was truly dead. I had nothing to say. All I could do was stand there, numb.
Wait until you find out about Itabashi.
Oh God. Harada-san, the epitome of bravery and manliness. Although the others, it seemed like he was rough around the edges. Although to others it seemed like he was rough around the edges, he was always so incredibly kind to me.
No time for tears.
奴らを追わねば
You still want to go after him, don't you?
However, news of Harada-san's death would prove to be the precursor to many, many more of such devastating tidings. And thus, Chapter 2 ends.
On to Chapter 3, where,
Ah,
much like last time, there are two choices to make.
May! It's May! Oh, we're going there.
It
Oh.
always gets. I don't know why, but Harada dying always gets me kind of hard.
It does. So that scene that we just had was the point where I appreciated more Shiranui and Amagiri in this route more than Kazuma.
No, I think this route has really good things in it. Just none of them are Kazuma.
Yes. Which is like, that's kind of a problem. I don't know how
That's
you would
definitely-
fix this route.
I have some ideas, but I would need to. Part of it involves fixing the chemistry between Chizuru and Kazuma, because I don't feel like she's falling in love with him. I'm sorry, I just don't.
No. It's
So
like,
when they get together, it's kind of like jarring.
it is.
SSL did a better job with it, I think.
A little bit.
The problem is Kazama is just not a likable person. He's not someone you'd want to fall in love with. So, like, he doesn't do well as an Otome love interest. And he's not... But they don't go far enough with the creepy aspects of him for him to appeal to people who like characters like Toma. So...
Maybe Kazuma has to have earlier realizations. I don't know how to fix him.
No, I'd have to think about it. I've only thought about how to make him better in Hijikata's route, not how to make him better in his own.
I will have to figure that out somehow.
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 For Chihiru's sake.
For Chizuru's sake, he and Haruka has to get along, and that's just like mixing fire.
That's
and
impossible! Oh my god, what the fuck?
Oil. It's mixing fire and oil. Oil.
No. Oh god.
That would be considered alchemist fire.
What? Alchemist fire. Anyway, we reach Utsunomiya just as summer was upon us. Utsunomiya domain. A domain locked in between Nikko Kaido and Oshu Kaido. After the Battle of Toba-Fushimi, it defects to the Imperial Army.
It does, and then Hijikata retakes it. And then it gets taken back like 2 days later.
Yes, it does.
How many times do we have to do this, old man?
I still think it's impressive that Hijikata managed to take Utsunomiya.
Yeah. Originally, Utsunomiya... What?
I was gonna say, all I was going to say is my son is insane. That's all I was
Your
going
son
to
is
say.
insane?
My son is insane.
Otori witnessed the insaneness.
He does. Otori is just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? That's how he survived 4 years in Kyoto. So he survived in Kyoto for like 5 years, my dude. It's the insanity.
Yes. Originally, Utsunomiya Castle was a stronghold for former shogunate soldiers who were forcibly driven from Edo, but Utsunomiya Castle, Hijikata led the Denshu Company on a siege here before it was retaken by the Imperial Army.
Oh no.
What? Wait. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Hi! Check has brought the
Oh, yeah.
ducks.
Watch this.
I can't believe you just did that.
I'll fucking do it again.
Anyway, If it was taken by the Imperial Army, it is a prime strategic location in the northeast. The Imperial Army laid siege.
And there he goes.
Oh, is
Back.
oh god. Jack.
A single quack and then leave.
No, no.
What did he say?
Arise, raises hell, leaves.
Yeah, that's Jack. The Imperial Army lay siege to the fortress and took control of it without much opposition. We could tell how bad the battle. Huh?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, now it's the part of the game where Cheezer's just basically following around Hichikata, being like, "Where'd he go?
Where'd go?" We could tell how bad the battle was from the sight of
Oh, fuck.
Utsunomi.
Wrong one. I'm sorry.
What?
He just said he was sorry.
Okay. Jesus Christ. We could tell how bad the battle was from the sight of Utsunomiya Castle crumbling from bombardment. Yeah.
I
Alright.
injured myself while measuring radio frequencies. Still hurts.
Still hurts.
Reese's Cup.
I have some bad news. Are you ready to hear it?
Oh god, which one is it?
Yeah, which one is it?
Kazuma.
Is it Kondo? Is it Soji?
I don't know anymore. I just know it's all devastating.
It all sucks. Everyone dies. My crops are wilting. My skin is dry.
How did all of these squares make a circle?
Oh god.
You might call it a dad bod. I prefer father figure.
Never say squares and circles, please.
And that one's still green!
That's not why.
All of these squares make a circle.
No. That's right. The square hole.
Oh, that one. I wasn't even thinking of that.
That's where my brain goes immediately now. My heart was still reeling from Shiranui's revelation that Harada-san had died in Ueno.
Oh, that's cute. My Japanese cat loves to sit near my rice cooker and smell the steam of freshly cooked rice.
Aw.
That's fucking adorable.
I know. And this is an orange cat, too, so it makes it even better.
Kitty.
Kitty. At first, I wasn't sure if I could bear to listen to another bit of terrible news. But I had to persevere. Alright, hit me with it. Which one is it?
Hit me with your best shot.
He beat me by 1 second.
Please tell me. As soon as I answered him, Cosmo spoke quietly. Oh god.
After surrendering to the Imperial Army, Kodo Isami was tried and beheaded.
No! Why did it have to go to son? Don't do this to me. Hatcha! Hatcha!
Dad!
Papa, no.
Oh my god. Beheading. A humiliating form of execution that involves cutting the head off with an enormous, sharp blade.
Enormous sharp blade. Wow, great description.
Don't show me the CG. Do not show me the CG.
I don't think
CG
it does.
shows up in Hijikata's route. It better not show up here.
I thought it was Saito's.
No, it shows up in Hijikata's.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is my brain remembering wrong? I swear it was Saito's.
Nope, Hijikata's.
Okay. Brain remembering.
It might show up in more than one round. So.
It might. It might have. Cause I just always pictured it in Saito's route.
Nope, it's in Toshi's.
Okay.
To be
see
fair,
anyway.
it probably should be in Toshi's.
It
Yeah.
It probably should be. Gondo-san had been so kind, and yet they denied him an honorable death by seppuku. They cut his head off like some common criminal. Seppuku, ritual self-disembowelment. It had a societal meaning.
That's all, yeah.
I got it. Societal meaning in which one can maintain one's honor by committing ritual suicide to take responsibilities for one's failure.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that this DQ sign just described the entire Midwest. Welcome to Indiana. Winter is at 6 a.m., spring is at 10 a.m., summer is at 3 p.m., fall is at 7-ish. Dress accordingly.
No, Jesus.
Until you get to the Great Lakes states, where lake effect weather affects basically the entire fucking state.
Oh my.
I just saw.
We don't have it nearly as bad as you, but it's still pretty bad down here at the Lake of the Ozarks.
I just saw all the things in chat.
Oh my god.
I stood silent. Kazuma looked away.
信じるかどうかはお前の勝手。
Believe me or not, it's your choice.
Kazuma, we've already established that we know that you would not lie about shit like this. So.
Chizuru, I literally have never lied.
Jeez. No, I believe you. Ever since the day I heard of Kondo-san's surrender, I had expected this outcome. But still, to hear of it now, it was almost too much to bear.
Believe it or not, Nagareyama's even worse in real life than it is in Hakuoki.
Eh?
It is. In real life, Kondo wanted to commit seppuku, and when he realized they were coming, Hijikata talked him out of it.
Oh, shit.
That is worse than what happens in Hakuoki.
Oh,
And the only reason Hijikata was let go is because they didn't realize who he was, because they were too distracted when Kondo revealed who he was to them. Kondo chose to do it. And initially he pretended he wasn't, but then he chose to do it. So the only reason Hijikata and his small regiment got away is because they were too distracted with having Kondo Isami, who realized who Hijikata was. So Hijikata blaming himself and then failing to get Kondo out, to all his favors falling through, like, it's so much more painful in real life because he's the one who taught Kondo out of committing seppuku.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, that's how bad Nagareyama is. It's like awful. It ruins me every time I think about it.
Well, I have done more learns.
Yeah, Nagareyama's not fun.
No.
When Hijikata was convalescing at Nikko and his leg was healing, because that's what happened at Utsunomiya in real life, his leg got wounded. His roommate made the mistake of saying that he was lazy and he should have tried harder to save Kondo. And Hijikata got so mad at him that he stood up and he started throwing his bedding at the guy and just chased the guy out of the room while he was wounded and recovering. And that's how deeply affected Hijikata was by Kondo's death. He never got over it.
Shit.
But yeah, there you go. Learning more fun Hijikata facts with me. And by fun, I mean absolutely terrible and heartbreaking.
And just giving me more ammo, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ah! I mean, his eldest brother's a blind shamisen player. That's always worth knowing.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love Tamejiro.
What does this mean for the Shinsengumi now? Kondo-san proudly served as the Shinsengumi's chief, and without him, would support them. Chief, Shinsengumi chief, a position that oversees the administrative and strategic organization of the group.
After fighting in Utsunomiya, I heard they marched towards the Aizu domain to continue fighting. What will you do?
Aizu domain. Clan related by blood to the Tokugawa clan, which was put in charge of the office of the Kyo military commissioner. They supported the Shinsengumi in Kyo.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Matsudaira Katamori. Dude tried so fucking hard, and then nothing good came of any of his efforts. And he felt like he failed everyone who trusted in him for the rest of his life. And he was like a super depressed old man. I like feel really bad for Katamori.
Oh.
Like, there's corruption in the Aizu, but it's not Katamori's fault. I just want to be clear. Matsudaira Katamori actually decent too.
Yeah, he's actually really nice.
Yeah, he's actually like a cool dude. We like
him.
So.
His last question wasn't an inquiry, it was a confirmation. Kazuma seemed to know that my mind was already made up. I looked him square in the eye. I'm going to Aizu too. I'm going wherever the Shinsengumi men are.
You're foolish for doing so.
August.
Skip 3 months, man. We're jumping all over in the timeline here.
Oh look, I know where this is. I think.
Is it Sendai?
No. It's
Or are they in
Shirakawa.
Aizu? Oh, it's Shirakawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so Cosmo and I headed north, chasing after the Shinsengumi. En route to Aizu, it seemed that wearing my usual clothing would make us stand out. Thus, I ended up wearing the Western-style outfit that Cosmo had prepared for me. I was wondering when she switched.
Well, now we know!
Yeah! En route
Yeah.
to Aizu. Then in August 1868, just as I was getting used to these new clothes, after a long journey, Cosmo and I finally set foot in Aizu. Tensions boiled under the surface in anticipation of the upcoming battle in the vicinity of Shirakawa. Shirakawa Domain, a key point in the O region, originally governed by hereditary and family domain daimyo. It became a battleground with no formal leader during the Boshin War. It was here that we were reunited with Amagiri, who was accompanied by members of the Satsuma domain.
The Shinsengumi were fighting at Shirakawa Castle until the end of April.
Oh, great, so we're months behind.
Yep, you are.
Shirakawa Castle, castle of the Shirakawa domain. The former shogunate forces and the Imperial Army fought for 3 long months over its control. Oh.
They held the castle until May, but then everything fell apart. They attempted to retake the castle several times, but things did not go as planned. I thought this might be the case.
If you stop being such a Debbie Downer, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the gut. And that's me, not in my PG voice.
No, because of the fact that he wants to marry Chizudu and everything, punch him in the family jewels.
Oh, the nads? Yeah, I'll punch him in the nads.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Or repeatedly punch him in the nads until he's infertile, and then Caesar doesn't have to stop her being pregnant with his child.
Stop him in the nuts. Stop him in the nuts.
Jesus Christ. Did you say the line?
War isn't so easy that it can be won through desperation alone.
Afterwards, the soldiers from the Aizu domain had retreated back to Aizu Castle. Aizu Castle, the preeminent castle in the Aizu domain, also known as the Suruga Castle. It seemed they were still barricaded inside the castle and fighting. Is that where the Shinsengumi is headed then?
Some of them.
one would assume.
If so, then I wanted to go as soon as possible, but
You can't stroll into an
合
active
図は
Uber
陥
zone,
落寸前
sweetie.
です。あとは若松城を残すのみ。
Aizu is on the verge of collapse. All they have left is Aizu Castle.
お前はどうするつもりだ？
What do you want to do now?
Over 6 months had passed since I was separated from the Shinsengumi in Kyo. My search for them had led me all over the country. Osaka, Edo, and now Utsunomiya. However, each time I thought I'd finally caught up, they had already left to go fight their next battle. No matter how fast I chased them, they were always out of my reach. Would each of them succumb to a fate similar to Kondo-san's or Harada-san before I could see them again?
We have to do the bad end in this. Please. We have to do the bad ending in this as well as the good ending, because the bad ending has Hijiko.
Really?
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Stuff in the bad ending. Yes, that's the reason. And Kazama dies, and it makes me happy.
I was gripped with a mixture of fear and anxiety, which prompted me to speak up. I would like to head for Aizu Castle.
冗談ならば笑えぬ。本気で言っているならなおさ
If
ら。
that was a joke, then I'm not laughing. If you're being serious, then I am even less amused.
お前は今の状況を分かっておらぬ。
Do you not understand the situation?
若松城は新政府軍に包囲され。
Aizu Castle is swarming with Imperial forces, and soon there will be nothing left of it.
I understand, but the Shinsengumi might be there.
Have some ramen.
What the? Oh my god.
Look at all the ramen.
All of the ramen.
Mm.
I definitely like the Shobu ramen quite a bit.
Hakata ramen is like my favorite type of it. I fucking love Hakata ramen a lot.
Oh.
I don't know which one I would like. I wish I could order ramen.
I would have to go all the way to St. Robert, which is near Fort Leonard Wood, for some authentic ramen.
I just have to go to the state capital, which I'm less than an hour from, so.
I've missed them several times in a row. What if I miss my chance this time too? Then I might never again. I bit my lip to hold back the rest. Cosmo's expression, however, was as aloof as ever.
仮に
Let's suppose they are, in fact, at Aizu Castle.
だが今
What
更お
could
前
you
がその場
possibly
に行って
do?
とてそれでどうする
No. What would become of you?
She wants to see her friends, jackass.
They're as good as dead. She needs to move on.
Oh,
No.
fuck you. Go eat a ghost pepper, you bastard.
Ghost pepper?
I hope you have anal discomfort for
Oh,
days.
Jesus.
Weeks, even.
Well,
むざむざ死にに行くようなものだ。
You would be heading to your death. Foolish doesn't even begin to describe it. It's just downright asinine.
but I'm not trying to do anything once I get there.
I don't believe you.
I wouldn't be able to save any of them, even if I did catch up. I knew that, but I want to see everyone while I still can. I don't know if I could bear the thought of never seeing them again. Just like Kondo-san and Harada-san.
奴らと共に自ら犬死にす
Are
る
you
道を
saying
選ぶ
you'd choose to die in vain if it meant seeing them again?
I'm not going to die in vain.
犬死にでなくてなんだというのだ
What do you expect will happen then?
近藤勇は罪人として
Is-
斬首
Kondo Isami has been executed, and his head is currently on display as Sangjogawara.
Oh god. Sanjogawara.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Sanjo Gawara.
A location in which the heads of the executed criminals are displayed as an act of public shaming. Oh jeez.
上野の
Yeah,
戦で
until
命
his nephew stole his head.
原田という男人間どもにその名を称えられることはあるまい
This Harada was ripped to shreds at Ueno. He left behind no great legacy.
Fuck
Unless
you,
it's Haruka's
Kazuma.
route.
Fuck you,
You
Kazuma.
shut your fucking mouth. I'm not gonna take any more slander. I know that's all you're gonna do until the very end of chapter 4, but shut your fucking mouth. You don't talk about the Shinsengumi that way. You don't even deserve to have their names on your lips, you little bitch.
Anyways, with that white noise out of the way,
Oh shit.
奴らの名はせいぜい
all there'll ever
What
be
did
is
you
a
say?
footnote in the annals of history. They'll be marked down as traitors.
No.
Ah. I had an idea.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
After all of this that Cosmo is saying, Haruka just punches him in the face.
Yeah.
I
The thing
can
is,
see
is for a long time I know what he represents in the story, right?
Mm.
But the thing is, this is his route, and he's not representing anything in the story. He's just serving as a voice to go like, nah, and then Chizuru's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, what's the point? That's why it was almost better when he was just with her in the common route, in some ways. I know that's awful to say, but like, he doesn't deserve a route. He doesn't deserve a route. I can think of characters who deserve routes more than him. Hiranui, fucking Miki.
Yep.
God, there's so many people who I can think deserve routes more than him. Because he is meant to represent the Satsuma and their like views and like the way that they saw things and like more mainstream views on the Shinsengumi for a long time. And like the game is supposed to like challenge his views. And but that's why this route is so stupid, and to fix it you would have to extend the demon plotline further, because that's the interesting part.
And it was gone in 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Of course this would happen should the Imperialists win control of the whole country. The truth about the Shinsengumi and its people would be warped for successive generations. Yeah. In history, a bitch. But I will remember. It doesn't matter if everyone drags their name through the mud. I will never forget what they truly were, so long as I live. Cosmo gritted his teeth tight as he glared at me chillingly.
ここまで愚かな女だとは思わなかった
I never knew there could be a woman as foolish as you.
よかろうならば好きにするがいい
Very well, do as you please.
Fucking make me care about him as a person. Fucking bare his soul to me. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're failing to make him interesting. It's not good writing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I've made it clear that I don't like Kazama very much, and it actually doesn't have much to do with his opinions on the Shinsengumi. I think he's utilized well in other routes. Just his own is boring as sin.
It is boring. I don't know which one is better. Maybe just Keaton, with some exceptions.
Yeah, he's good in the. I like musical Kazama a lot, and I like him in the movies.
Yeah.
He's really good in the movies. Movie Kazama is like my platonic ideal of Kazama.
I was unsure whether Cosmo was angry or merely irritated with me. His eyes were like daggers. I could barely speak, let alone breathe.
二人とも少し落ち着いてください。
Alright, you two, let's simmer down. What's the gain from arguing?
風間もらしくありませんね。
How unlike you, Kazuma. You completely lost your temper over one young girl.
But he's falling in love with her. That's the
この娘
implication.
があまりにも
This
愚かな
young
こと
girl is too foolish for words.
これ以上話していて
This
も時間
discussion
の
is a
無駄だ
waste of my time.
俺は他に用が
I have other things that require my attention. I'm taking my leave.
Oh, I'm just so white and true.
Cosmo snapped at me and spun on his heels. He walked away without another word. I contemplated calling after him to clear the air, but I could only hang my head and bite my lip.
追いかけた方がいいですよ。
You would do well to go after him.
Huh?
風間は気分屋ではありますが、わけもなく怒りを表に出す男。
Cosma can be awfully temperamental, but he isn't the type to vent his anger over nothing.
I wasn't following. Nonetheless, he continued on in an admonishing tone.
焦る気持ちはわか
I
ります。
understand why you feel pressed for time,
君
but
一人ではそもそ
you
も
will never
若松
reach
城ま
Aizu
でたどり着
Castle
けません。
alone.
それは
You know that,
君にもわかる
don't you?
でしょ
What do you want?
Your phone went ding.
Oh,
う。それに
no, I know what
そも
this
そも
is.
新選組
Okay.
の面々が
Okay.
まだ
Just
若松
webtoon.
城にとどま
I
っている
am
かどうかも
going
わかってい
to
ます。
D&D this thing. Do not disturb. Besides, we have no guarantee that the Shinsengumi men will still be... Oh, you do that for me!
Ha!
Besides, we have no guarantee that the Shinsengumi men will still be at Aizu Castle by the time we get there.
私は今から新選組の足取りを調べて
I'll
く
do
る
what I can to investigate their whereabouts for the time being.
君はその間に風間と話してくるといい。
For now, why don't you speak with Kazuma?
Hamagiri, thank you so much.
A drink, finally.
Yay!
Be right back.
Okay. Uh.
いいえ、これも私の役目ですから。
Boop.
No need. I am simply doing my duty.
With that said, Hamagiri bowed his head and vanished like mist into thin air. I turned my head in all directions, looking to see where Kazuma had run off to. By the time I found him, the sun was setting into a warm pool of orange on the horizon. Kazuma! I timidly called out to him. He's being a baby. He turned his head to gaze at me, but he paid me no mind and continued walking at the same pace. Excuse me, where are you going?
共に来るつもりなら黙ってつい
If you insist on joining me, then be quiet about it. You'll understand when we arrive.
Oh. But I followed him intending to talk, but he didn't give me a chance to get a word in. As I looked ahead to where we were going, confused, something strange caught my attention. Huh? The row of trees rustled over the forest path, as if to welcome us in. My nose.
Are we almost to the best scene in his road?
Is this?
I think it's the pouring sake out
Yeah.
the grave thing.
Yes. My nose tingled with a nostalgic sense of grass and earth, as if all my senses were whispering to me. I didn't know how to explain why this atmosphere put my heart at ease.
Not me. Oh, it's a Yamazaki.
What?
There was a Yamazaki posted.
Yes! Anyway, Reese's Cup.
Here we are.
Before I had an opportunity to voice how strange I felt, Cosmo stopped walking. This place was... Oh... The instant I took in the sight before me, nostalgia made my entire body tremble. Before us was a charred hut with a fallen support beam cutting through the middle of it, and my mind immediately filled in the blanks of what it used to be. We had arrived at a village. In the middle was a decayed well, encircled by overgrown weeds. I picked up on the life that used to inhabit this place. Shards of an old bucket were scattered around the well, and an old doll laid in the grass near my feet. There was no mistaking it. This was... Is this the village where I was born? I asked Kazuma, my voice shaking. Kazuma silently looked away. Just then...
Mm-hmm.
Something caught his attention in the distance, and Kazuma darted up a small hill to see what it was. Oh, fuck. To my surprise, we saw... Coda? My brother lay, collapsed on a bed of flowers. On the side of his ribcage was gauze that had been completely soaked with blood. He must have attempted to treat the injury inflicted by Kazuma, but... knowing that death was near, he dragged himself, fighting the pain, all the way to the village he'd been born in.
He has already passed.
In death, my brother seemed to be at peace. Part of me almost believed that, after the evening passed, he'd wake up to greet the morning dawn. Just then, an old memory welled up to the surface. It was from years ago, back when he and I lived in the seclusion of Yukimura village.
Nissan! I want to see the fields of flowers again. Take me.
We can't go there.
Why not? Father scolded me for taking you there. He said that since you're a girl, I can't take you anywhere dangerous. But I was fine. Did you tell them? She said it doesn't need help. Look, I can't take you, alright? I'm a boy. Demon boys have to do their job. They have to protect girls.
I finally remembered. How could I have forgotten? The reason why my brother risked his life to protect me when our home was burning to the ground.
Why are you crying?
It wasn't until...
Because she's sad.
Sad. It wasn't until Cosmo pointed it out that I realized there were tears falling down my face. I just remembered something important.
大切なことだと。
Important?
I nodded. It wasn't just Kaudu that saved me either. Father carried the two of us in his arms, barreling down the mountain as fast as he could. He raised me with love, as if I were his own daughter. I was loved. There were so many people who protected and cared for me. Father and Kaudu as well.
そうか。
I see.
Cosmo didn't press the subject further. The two of us listened to the gentle hum of the wind passing through the ruined village, grazing against the burned wood creaking far away.
お前の兄の墓を作ってやろう。
Let's bury your brother
木
here
村一族の
as the head of the Yukimura clan.
Together we hiked to the highest peak of the hill, overlooking the rest of the village, and it was here that we buried Kaudu's remains. Cosmo kept his eyes fixed on the grave for a few minutes, and then he reached for the canteen hanging on the side of his belt and poured it out on over the grave. The sake reflected the glimmering moonlight as it fell from the canteen, seeping deep into the soil. Cosmo did not smile, but neither did he look unaffected. Rather, his eyes were colored with a deep compassion that almost looked gentle.
人間どもに里を
If it weren't for the humans, then I am certain that your brother would have made a fine leader.
He spoke almost as if he felt regret towards Kaudu's death. If the humans hadn't destroyed our village, would things have been different for Father and Kaudu? At the very least, they might have lived their lives unburdened by hate, never having to fight their kin to the death. Kaudu had wanted to use the Furies to revive the Yukimura clan. But in the end, I didn't believe that was what he truly wanted deep down. I was sure all he wanted to do was live here, in our old, beloved home. He wanted to live in peace, as we did when we were children. He wanted to reclaim the life that was cruelly taken away from him when he was young. That was all there was to it. I had a feeling that this was the reason he looked so at peace, having spent his final moments in the comfort of the flower field from our memories. Kazuma.
なんだ
What?
I know that my father and Kaudu committed unforgivable crimes against humanity and our people, but even so, do you think it would be alright for me to still hold them dear? I heard that.
What?
Oh, I see. It's over there. Okay.
Oh. Something else.
Father's serum was catastrophic, responsible for the deaths of countless warriors and innocent people. Their plan to use Furies had even earned them hatred and condemnation from other demons, but even so...
好きにしろ
You're free to do as you please.
鬼の掟でも心
The
の
demon's
中を
code has no bearing on matters of the heart.
Demon's code.
Fucking God. Yeah, tell us more about that. His route should be full of shit like this.
It kind of was, but not a lot. At the start, at least.
Yeah.
The code of law that restricts demons never to involve themselves with humankind, never to kill their kin, and never break a vow.
たとえ罪人と
Regardless of the sins they have committed, they They are still your family.
His words made me sigh in relief. Can I ask you one more question?
You just did.
God damn it. Demons far surpass humans in strength and agility, don't they? How can you explain what happened to my people? How are humans able to destroy them all? Cosmo tilted his head, peering into my eyes. Perhaps he was testing me to see if I could handle the truth. Eventually.
The domains of the West, Satsuma, Chosu, Tosa, formed an alliance in order to overthrow the shogunate and approach demon clans to aid their cause. They needed more help than the Kazuma Shinonui clans could afford to give them, so they went east. It was then that they asked the Yukimura clan.
That's Chizuru.
Oh.
Apparently. It was then that they asked the Yukimura clan.
Your people, however, did not want to involve themselves in a war between humans and declined. Or so I heard.
Wasn't it the shogunate in his original route?
I'm pretty sure it's the shogunate in all routes.
But they just changed it. That's not what he just said. He said it was the Shacho.
I'm so confused.
And the Tosa. I'm inclined to believe this translation. I'm inclined to believe this translation over other ones. But it's weird. Because I thought it was the shogunate.
I feel like it was the shogunate. The fuck?
But that's not what he said.
I know that's not what he said.
He just said it was the Sacha.
Do other routes go over this?
They might. We'll have to check.
Well, we're going through them all, so fuck it. Well, we're going through Sanan's next, which has more of Kodo and Kaudo, so maybe it'll pop up?
That's true. It might.
It might.
Maybe. Maybe.
As allies, demons were reliable, but as enemies, they were terrifying. There was no telling if or when the Yukimura clan might decide to fight against them. They were too dangerous to be allowed to live. That's why my clan was destroyed? That was their justification for killing my people? I cried out, and Cosmo didn't answer. He turned to gaze at the scorched village below the hill. It was futile. The past couldn't be changed.
Do you despise the people who murdered your parents? Remain in the shadows, out of the affairs of mankind. That is where demons belong. Of all the clans, yours put the dignity of its people first by refusing. And yet they destroyed your clan for refusing war, all to gain power over this entire land.
I hung my head. His voice was hushed, hovering just above a whisper, and he continued.
It was never my intention to reveal the history of the Yukimura clan to you, but...
God damn it!
What?
No Kazama Chikage ASMR!
Oh my god!
I suppose, because we are here, it is unavoidable. No, Brain, we're not doing this.
I was gonna say, don't make that into a short idea.
My brain also had a thought, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to do it.
Oh god, why?
I don't know why.
Do you want to DM it?
No.
To get it out of your head?
It's just something dumb that would be done like right here as a joke.
Oh, Jesus, don't.
And it has to do with SpongeBob.
What the
And you
Anyway.
probably know exactly which one because it involves a panty raid.
Oh, God. Anyway, Reese's Cup.
Do you not despise humanity?
How should I respond? Heartbroken?
Yeah,
can't-
heartbroken.
I'm just heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. Ah. There's a part of me that does hate them, I think. But more than that, I just feel...
I don't want to lay down and cry. Yeah.
sorrow. I'm just so heartbroken.
Sweet child of mine, no.
悲しい
Mhm.
だと
Sorrow.
I nodded. It was the first thing I felt when I heard about Father and Kauda. I felt sorrow that I didn't even remember the death of my parents. My real father and mother, as well as the rest of the Yukimura clan. Do you know how they died?
Hmm.
俺も詳しくは
I
知らん
don't know I don't know the specifics. Eh.
ただ
All I know is that none of them attempted to use their powers as demons against the humans who attacked.
自分たちが
They
死した
held on to their convictions as demons by refusing to fight the humans,
俺の誇りを
even at the cost of their own lives.
Which is impressive.
I kneeled down and touched my fingers to a burned pillar. Had I touched this pillar as a child? Now it was a dried and freezing surface.
Hanukkah was here.
Eh? Oh,
'Cause
I
it's
see.
freezing.
Damn it. Is there no way for us to live in a world where everyone can coexist peacefully? Why couldn't we all laugh and live in harmony with one another? Why was the pursuit of peace so entrenched in the death of innocent lives? I saw many things when I was with the Shinsengumi. A range of motivations, ideologies, and ambitions. When two opposing parties were unwilling to compromise, then it usually led to war, but all of them did what they thought was best for this country. Or at least I think they did. Surely they had the same end goal. It just breaks my heart that they all had to inflict so much pain on one another.
そうか
I
悲しい
see.
か
Sorrow, you say?
Kazuma nodded and did not refute my words. His eyes were different than before. They looked calm and almost kind.
There's a love point.
戦わずに過ごすことができるのならばその方がいい
To be fair, this is his most interesting scene in his entire and it actually reveals more about like how he personally thinks and like what his goals are as a person and shit, and that's why I find it interesting because it's humanizing. But it's like the only scene in his route that I feel that way about because like the rest of it is just like all about like
戦
Chizuru.
わずに過ごす
And that's
ことがで
fine,
きる
but like in order for him to be
その方がいい
a
かもしれん
compelling love interest,
Why is this watermelon doing this?
What?
I'll
Look at that. Yeah, it's yours.
Anyway.
Indeed. Perhaps a day will come when we will no longer need our swords to speak for us. Yes, we will be doing this with guns instead.
Eventually we fell quiet, naturally running out of things to say. After a moment, Kazuma broke the silence by muttering to himself.
人は皆
Humans are such
愚かな人なの
fools.
だ彼 りに戦を望まぬ者がいても、その裏では
Even then,
必
if
ず
there
他
are
の
those who
者
do
が
not
戦を
wish
望ん
to fight, there will always be those who do wish to fight.
だから俺は
Imagine
人
that.
に
Different
関わる
humans
こ
have
とを
different
避け
priorities.
This is why demons have forsaken them.
俺はこれ以上こたびの戦に関わるつもりはない。
I will involve myself with this war no further.
無論お前も関わるべきではない。
You ought to do so as well.
Kazuma. I also did not want to be caught up in the fight. I did not want to receive any more tidings that people I cared for had died. However, the Shinsengumi were at the center of the conflict.
俺とて新選組の連中を
I
案じる
am
お
not
前の焦
completely
りを理
insensitive
解
to your
できる。
desire to rejoin the Shinsengumi as soon as possible.
だが奴らに会いたい
If you
のは
wish to see them so badly, then you must keep your composure.
焦りに駆られて戦の渦中に飛び込めば
If you become restless and enter the middle of the conflict too hastily, then you will die before you get a chance to reunite with them.
Wow, thanks for actually saying what you're actually thinking this time instead of just being a dismissive fucking jackass.
She needed to pick up on my signs.
Not everyone can do that. Some of us are autistic, Chikage.
I doubt this is what your family would want.
You're right. As Cosmo said, I had been patient all this time. Cosmo was often blunt, but not outright rude. But he was speaking honestly, and I could tell that he was genuinely worried for my well-being.
What are you smoking? He is rude. He's constantly rude. I think he's ruder than Toshi is.
Yep. That I knew for sure. Thank you for looking out for me.
Rank.
No! I don't want to drink to this, thank you. I guess I have to. Ugh.
I am merely unable to overlook your foolishness.
Foolishness?
How else should I describe it? You have no means of reaching Aizu Castle by yourself.
Although Cosmo was being a little more snide than usual. Little?
Chizuru. Chizuru, you and I, from this route, we need to sit down and we need to talk about your taste in men.
And why Cosmo should not be one of them.
Yeah. You'd be better off with, like, literally anyone
Anybody else. Okay, maybe not Takeda.
No, not Takeda.
Not Takeda. But like
Not
anybody
Takeda.
else.
I think Takeda is worse than Kazuma, and he's like the one person I will say that about.
And that's why I gave him to Haruka. Because no way in
Only
fuck-
Haruka.
I
Haruka can
can't ride
handle
that between Takeda and Chizuru. No, no, impossible.
Mm-mm.
No.
So what is that, Takeda and Haruka and Kazuma and Chizuru? Is that just like your problematic route?
Yes, it will be. You will get fighting between Takeda and Haruka in the first half, and then it just becomes a fight between Kazuma and Haruka in the second half.
And Takeda's like, huh. That's nice. She's not yelling at me for once.
For once. He becomes humbled by, at least a bit more humbled by Toba Fushimi. For some reason, he sounded kind.
Amagiri said the same thing that you did, Kazuma. He said that we have no way of knowing whether or not the Shinsengumi will still be at Aizu Castle by the time we arrive. So I should wait. So for now, I will wait until we know for certain.
Kazuma scanned me, his eyes narrowing with satisfaction.
I see you finally decided to listen to me.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck you, Okuta. You're about to press it again.
Obedience is a good look on you. You're well on your way to becoming the ideal wife. Oh, God.
Nobody cares about your... No one cares about your maid kink. No one cares about your maid kink. No one cares about your maid kink. No one. No one cares. Keep that in the bedroom. I don't want to hear about your maid kink.
What does that have to do with anything? I'm not your wife, Kazuma!
Yeah, Kazuma.
Kazuma. Again. Just imagining it. Tadaka just hits him in the back of the head.
Throw something.
Throws another snowball at him.
Free snowballs all the time. 24/7 snowball.
All of the snowballs. I turned around to look at the scenery around us again. All I'd wanted was to reunite with the men of the Shinsengumi, but even more so, I couldn't bear the thought of letting the deaths of my parents, father, and Kaoru be in vain. I wouldn't risk my life for nothing. As Kazuyama and I left the village, I put the image of the charred remains behind me, and instead carried the resolve to honor my people and their sacrifice.
I know. From the first fucking live-action Scooby-Doo movie, Secondhand.
What?
Scooby, do you want to be a sacrifice? Alright.
What the fuck?
It's from the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
God, I haven't seen that in a long time. Anyway.
Are we done?
I think this is a good place to stop.
Okay.
So.
Da, da, da.
Afternoon is going to be Stardew Valley, followed by Hakuoki. No, Persona 3.
Yes.
And then Monday Alter Art. That's it for the week.
Yup.
Somebody was having a nap earlier, so she just woke up prior to the stream.
Eh?
I was seeing if you wanted to stream.
What?
What am I doing?
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Right.
What is your brain doing?
I don't know.
Too many racist buffs.
Oh, God. So collect your brain for a second. What are you trying to say?
Raid, yes or no? You should decide.
Akia! Why the fuck not? They're playing
Okay.
Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, and he's playing as a Gyarados currently.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, so please drink water.
Have a good day or night.
Try not to die because you didn't drink water. Let's go!